Good morning, dear Stitchers. It's Judy Whitman with JBW Designs, and I want to welcome you back to my channel. This is Flosstube number 70, and it is Friday, December 13th. I had to think about that for a second. I don't feel like the Friday the 13th is an unlucky day, actually, so hopefully you'll have a good time watching my video today. And as always, I want to thank you for taking the time to watch, for writing the most lovely emails and comments and sending letters. I just love hearing from all of you. And if you are new to my channel, welcome. I hope that you'll think about subscribing and even telling your friends about my designs. It's interesting to me that even though I've been designing for a long time, I do think that people are still discovering my designs, and it really is through the amazing network of people that we have who support me, and certainly you all fall into that category. So what do I have going for you today? First of all, I want to address a couple of things from the last video. I always go back and watch one more time after I finish it to see what I've done, what I've goofed on, or what I've left out, or answer some of your questions. So last time I showed a lot of ornaments, and one of the ornaments that I shared with you, I think might have been this little guy. I worked him in blue, and it's finished as an oval. And I know this sounds goofy, but I could not remember the name of my own booklet. It was a little frightening. I think when you get to some almost 500 designs, after a while, all the titles start to sound alike. So this actually is kind of a nice collection. It's still available. It's called a winter collection. It includes 4 designs. So it has 2 different snowmen in this, an alphabet snowman and then the little French country snowman on the back. It also has an ice skate and the little Norwegian hats. So any of these would make just darling ornaments, or they'd be perfect for your winter stitching once we finish all of our Christmas stitching. So that was one of the things that I wanted to share with you. The other is that I tried to find a product number, excuse me, for this piece, which is sold by Hobby Lobby. It's a joy sign. It comes in a wooden variety. It also comes in kind of a composite metal variety, and I cannot find the product number for it. And I went on their website, and probably by this time that product is sold out. But keep your eyes open for it next year, because what I've been finding lately, if they have things that are popular, they tend to bring them back. So that's a long time to wait, but this is the Christmas in the Round design. And then I also, let's see, I did find this product, and I did find the product number for it, and I think I've talked about this before. This is a wooden snowflake. It's fairly thick. It sits on a tabletop. I do have the product number on this one, and I have used, this would work with any of my round designs, like the one I just shared with you. It would work for my French country snowflake. I could even see some of the Santas or snowmen mounted on this piece. So I have notes to myself of what to include in the show notes below this. Let's see. I have something fun to show you. I'm sorry I have to keep looking at my notes. As usual, I'm surrounded by so many things, and it takes me a while to kind of get in the groove of what I want to talk to you about. So as you know, I'm going to share life updates at the end of the video, but many of you know that we are waiting very anxiously for our great-granddaughter, who will be the baby of our oldest grandson Wyatt and his wife Kylie, to arrive. And this little baby is due on Christmas. So in my last video, I showed you all the shepherd's bush stockings that I had stitched for my family, and many of you got quite a kick out of that, so I was glad that I showed them all to you. And I knew I wanted to do one for the new baby, and I started it, oh gosh, a couple weeks ago, and I just thought, oh, you don't have time to work on this. But you know, once I got started, I just was really enjoying it. So let me show you. I've actually wrapped it already. I'm going to give it to the expectant mom and dad this next week. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But anyhow, her name is Nevaeh, which is heaven spelled backwards. And this is the stocking that I did for Nevaeh. I did change quite a few of the colors in this one. I started out using the called for colors, and I just felt like I wanted to brighten it up a little bit. This stocking is the Sadie stocking from Shepherd's Bush. So you can see I just brightened the colors in her dress, and then I ended up changing, I don't know, I guess I'm kind of a funny stitcher. As I was doing all the buildings down here, I just look at my colors and I think, what would look nice next? And I did change things around quite a bit. But I love the little sheep in here, the basket that she's holding. And the most charming thing about Shepherd's Bush stockings is the charms that are used with their stockings, and that is such a fun part of it. So after you're all done stitching them, if you buy the little packet of charms, there are charms everywhere on here. They're here, there's a snowflake in the sky, there are golden beads, ribbons. It is just amazing, and that really makes the stocking look special when you add all those charms. So let me tell you a little bit, what did I stitch it on? I stitched it on 18 count Davos, which is what I think is called for, and you use 5 pearl cotton, which is a very thick fiber. So if you're like me and are used to stitching like on 32 or 36 count linen, picking up a piece like this with such a large fiber on such a large count, I mean, actually you're stitching, it's 9 stitches to the inch. The stitching actually goes quite quickly, but it was so much fun to do, and I can't wait to give it to them. It is not finished yet as a stocking, that I knew I couldn't send it to a finisher at this time of year. That would be not fair to them at all. So baby isn't here yet, so she'll have a stocking for around her first birthday. And then my last note from the last videos is I mentioned that I had done a finishing video, and it wasn't the whole video. It's not like a Vanna Pfeiffer video, but I take my stockings, I show you how I finish them, and that video number is 67 if you're interested. So now I want to share some of the wonderful mail that I've received in the last week. I got this beautiful card from Davy, and she wrote, as you can see, a nice sweet note about some things that she's been working on. I also got I love it when people, you stitchers are so thoughtful. You just send the most beautiful cards. This was from Susan Barnes. She wrote to thank me for something, and she said she didn't make the card, but I just thought it was thank you for those who take the time to write. It's always fun to get real mail, isn't it? And then I got a Christmas card from Pam and Steph of Just Keep Stitching. That was fun to get their card. And then I received a gift this week that was truly amazing. And I know a lot of Flosstubers talk about this. When people send gifts when we least expect it, it is, I'm so grateful and kind of overwhelmed by people's kindness. So this was from Lisa from Virginia. And I'm going to show you a couple things that she made. First of all, she made the card. And I have to remember she has an Etsy shop, and it's called Lisa's Craft Room Designs. And I'm going to leave myself a note out here, so I put that in the notes below. But not only did she send this gorgeous card, which just has to go on display somewhere here, but she sent gifts for the new baby. So Nevaeh, if I haven't told you before, is heaven spelled backwards. So she sent this beautiful little quilted bag, and if you open it up, well, it wasn't the only thing. There were more. So if you open it up, she felt like it could be a wonderful little like traveling diaper bag for the new mom. And then she sent another little tiny zippered bag to also use. Look at the fabric. Isn't that adorable? And then she sent a little Kleenex holder with the baby's name on it. I can't wait to give this to them when I see them next week. So thank you, Lisa. It was just such a lovely gift. Oh, and she even sent me a Christmas towel that I already have down on display in the kitchen. And then I have some other gifts to show you. Let me put these out of the way. I'm trying to be organized here. Whoops. Let's see. So I told you, gosh, I think it was September, October, I met with a friend, Catherine, from California. Hi, Catherine. And I met she and her sister for lunch when they were in a town nearby. And she gave me several beautiful gifts. And I was so excited about them. I put them right next to my stitching chair and never shared them with you. So look at this. I mean, she's so talented. She knit this darling little, it almost looks like a baby basket actually, but I keep it by my stitching chair and I put my orts in there. So that's perfect. And then she also made more of these beautiful bags with a French General fabric and a beautiful zipper pull. And she gave me not one, excuse me here, but 2 bags. Look at those. I mean, blue is my favorite color. You wouldn't know it from my office because my office is actually all pinks and greens, but I do love blue. So thank you, Catherine. Thank you so much for your generosity and your kindness. So now I want to show you some pictures that I've received. I always feel like this portion of my video is like show and tell, which is very appropriate because I think I've shared with you before that I was a first grade teacher. I still sound like a first grade teacher, and so show and tell is just the right name for me to use when I share with you pictures of some of my designs that our watchers, our viewers, have sent to me. So I hope that you get out your stitching and just are getting lots done while you listen to this. So the first one that came this last week was this right here, and this is from Lisa. Now I don't know, I'm going to have to write to her where she got that darling snowflake. So she mounted the same design that I just showed you earlier, which is Christmas in the round. And then she put a little bell up at the top, and she has a multicolored cording around the edge. I just love how that turned out, and that is from this book here, Christmas in the Round. And then, let's see, again, I'm going to, whoops, every time I try to clean things up, things fly away. So then another piece that came in, and this was just fabulous. I hadn't seen this used this way. This was from Tammy, and she used that joy sign that I talked about earlier, and she took my sledding Santa design and she mounted him in the center of the O. Isn't that just great? And then I just love, she added some greenery around it and some trees in the background. It's just stunning. So that's a fun finish to share with you. And I showed you the booklet. Then I also got this picture from Deborah, and she stitched my kitties in the round. And what I loved about her finish is that she finished it in a hoop, but she's covered her hoop with just a beautiful fabric. And that booklet looks like this. And all of these motifs that I do in some of the kitties in the round and doggies in the round, I try to find the motifs from antique samplers. and it's challenging, but it's just so much fun to put together. So that's Kitties in the Round. And then, let's see, this was a gorgeous finish. This came from Lisa, and she said that her daughter did this. Look at the cording around that. It is just perfectly done. And this is from my design called a sampler stocking. So that was wonderful to see. Then I also, and I want to show you some of these products that you could still might be able to find. So let's see, this was from Kathy, and she sent me pictures. Let me try to hold that still for a minute, of a number of my designs from different sources. Actually, this is French Country Snowflake, and then the Noel, I think, comes from, I think it's Little Red Sleds that came from, and then the dove and the little tree probably came from my ornament booklets. But what I loved about this is her finish. So I want to show you, I'm going to show you, I can show you at least one of the booklets. That's the French Country Snowflake design. And this design here is worked over 2, and this one is worked over 1 on 28. But let's see, a long reach here. So a year ago actually, and I've bought many of these. So this is what she used for her finishing on these ornaments. And it makes your finishing so easy. These are ornaments from Michael's. And this says 2022 on it, so you can tell I bought it a year ago. But they have, I don't know how many different designs. Well, she's showing a square. She had 4 different ones that I'm going to show you. A little snowflake design. But they are so easy to use for finishing because you just have to take off the backing and mount the design in the center of the little ornament. So I don't know, I haven't been to Michael's lately to see if they still have these or not, but it might be worth checking. In the past, it's taken me a while to find them in the store. It's usually a fairly large rack of these metal ornaments, but they're just perfect for finishing. And then, let's see, I have another one here to show you, actually, that came in a while ago. Oh, darn it. There was one more design I was going to print off, and I forgot to do it. Well, maybe next time. Although I kind of feel like this is almost, we're almost to Christmas. I think this might be my last Christmas video, so I guess it's all right to talk about it in January if I have to. So this picture came, as I say, a while ago, and this was from Kathy S. And I absolutely love it. I'm going to do it myself. She took my stitching in the round design, and she mounted it on one of these little boxes that we use kind of as a travel box for all of our stitching accessories. And I finished my box. I think I showed this to you a long time ago. It has many things in it here. Quite a while ago, but I never did anything with the top of the box. And so now that I have seen Kathy's finish with the little pom-pom trim around the edges, I thought, I am going to have to stitch that for myself. And so that it was her finish. You can order these little, they're actually like little jewelry boxes on Amazon. And this was the inside of her box. Everybody finishes them a little bit differently. But you basically take out the inside of the box and just line it with whatever fabric you want and whatever trim you want. And of course that's what stitching in the round looks like. So how fun is that to see all those things that people sent? Oh, there's one more here. This is from Christine, and I love this. She did the little Merry Christmas tree and the star, the French Country star, and these 2 designs appear in my ornament collection booklets. So thank you, Christine, for sending those. I like how you did the hanging them on a metal tree. That's really clever. So thank you for all of you for your cleverness. That's what inspires us, is to see other people's work. So in the last week or so, I, like you, watch a lot of Flosstube, which is kind of my entertainment in the evening while I'm stitching. And there are several people in the last couple weeks who have been so kind about mentioning my channel. And I want to acknowledge them and thank them. And as always, I ask you, if you know, there's so many Flosstubes, we can't possibly watch them all. So if you see someone mentioning my designs, just send me a quick email and say, hey Judy, I just saw, so-and-so just stitched your design or mentioned your work, because I really want to thank them. So the ones I wanted to acknowledge today are Nicole Spohr, and I will list these all below, who does wonderful, wonderful videos if you haven't watched her yet. Chris Cross Stitch, this in his latest video, he had several of my ornaments, that one he had finished and one was hanging on his tree. That was so much fun. Jean from the Attic Needlework had several of my designs in her latest video. The Vintage Stitcher, Artie, I have to show you this. This was a gift also. She has been showing my designs, and she also sent me a gift this past week. So Artie, let me show you this, has a Flosstube, of course, and she makes items for finishing, which is really clever. So she has all kinds of designs. It's probably the end of the season. She probably doesn't have that many left, but they're for you to mount your design, and she has done all the finishing for you. So she does these flat boards, which are just darling, and she also does these covered hoops. So I would make sure that you check out Artie with the Vintage Stitcher. Thank you, Artie, for sending your gifts here. And then Sarah from Sarah's Stitching Spot has mentioned my things fairly recently. She just finished the Eliza's French Birds. And then last night I watched Shelley with the Antique Needleworker. And oh my goodness, she was so sweet about mentioning my designs and following me. And the cutest thing that she said was she wanted to make up a bag for the future with some of my patterns and all the fabric and the fibers, so that she had it ready to go. So thank you, Shelley. So now, what else do I want to tell you about? Actually, I skipped a page. That's all right. You don't care, do you? So what I wanted to show you this week is so I just got a trunk show back, and so I have a few more Christmas designs that I wanted to share with you that I don't think I've shown you recently, and give you some more finishing ideas. You can see I'm moving things out of the way here, and then we'll finish things up. So one of the designs that has been gone for a while that I've been wanting to share with you is Petite Christmas Cottages. And I love little houses, as many people do in their stitching. So I actually I'm trying to think, I did another set of houses. I'll have to show those next year, which seems funny to say, but here are the little Christmas cottages. So I get these boards from my supplier, the Bee Company in France. I need to order more. Today. I know it's too late for Christmas, but this is something that you might want to stitch for next Christmas. So this is a tiny little house. They're easy to use because they're just a wooden board, and you can make a copy of the shape of the house, and that can be your template for your design. So that's one of the designs from that booklet. Here is a second one. It's so much fun to think about how to design the house and then how to decorate it with trees and boughs, and there's a little tiny wreath on the door. I'll check the fabric and the stitch count in a minute for you. And this is the third little house. So as I say, they were so much fun to put together, and design. So what did I work these on? I worked these on a 32 count Belfast linen in antique white. They are worked over too. Probably, thank goodness for you, right? And I used a variety of both DMC and hand-dyed fibers, but I always give equivalents for DMC. So that is, let me show you here, the 3 little Petite Christmas cottages. And then I also just got back a fairly new design, which you may have seen before. This is the Danish stocking. I always like to show you differences in colors. So this is worked on a 28 count over 1 with white on red. And this is worked, let's check. Let me double check here. What did I work the over 2 model? I worked this on a 36 count fabric from Atomic Ranch called Parchment. So, and this is the design worked over 2. So you can see how different they look, but you know, it doesn't matter. Just choose the fabric that you love, and I want you to be happy with your finished project. And these are just finished as flats. So once again, once you finish your stitching, you can make a copy of it on your printer, and that can become your template for cutting out the design and cutting out the backing for each one of those. So let's see, what else do I have here to show you? This is one that just came back, and this is another case of showing you a design that in the original was stitched just, well, it is in 2 colors, but it's so hard to see. So it's called Alphabet in the Round. I did it in the original on the cover with red on a, let's see, on a 32 count cream Belfast linen, and there are white stitches in the background of that. It's probably very hard to see. But then I decided, wouldn't it be darling as a Christmas ornament? So I stitched it, all the lettering in red and all the background in green. And I just love how this looks. It just makes it, and this too, this little wreath I've shown you before, you can get, or you used to be able to get those at Hobby Lobby, and you just spray paint them. They're like a natural wood. But isn't that fun to see what you can do with a design? That you can work it in one color combination, as we know, and then work it in a second, and it changes everything on how they look. And when I did that alphabet, I did it on one of the wooden boxes that I think I've shared with you before. These are from Hobby Lobby. They are in their woodwork section. They're a natural wood. You can spray paint them any color you want. I usually put a lining in the inside, and then I usually take one of the motifs and stitch that as a little surprise for the inside of the box. But these are just perfect, excuse me for the noise, for finishing any of my round designs. They just fit beautifully. I think they're probably about 5.5, 6 inches across, but that makes a beautiful finishing product also. So I have 3 more sets here to share with you today. This is part of my series that I've been showing to you that are white worked on red, and this is always a test to my memory. Oh, Christmas Tree, Tidings of Joy, and this is Joy Noel. And I think the white on red is just so striking. It just makes such a lovely Christmas pillow. And that pattern looks like this. This model was stitched on a 28 count over 1. And then I also did it, let's see, do I have, I did stitch this in red on a white or off-white fabric, and it can be just as striking. And I did that model over 2. All right, so you know I've been sharing my sing-a-song stockings, and that series has so many things in it. So I have 3 more that just came back from the trunk show. This is Oh Little Drummer Boy, and that book looks like this. So it's Sing a Song 11. And these are stitched on a 32 count linen over 2 threads. It's an antique white linen. And again, you know, they're just finished as a little flat. So there's a little drummer boy. Let's see here. I also have Jingle Bells, which is Sing a Song 10. And I use little gold beads in here on the horse and on the sleigh, on the tops of the trees, and then tiny little jingle bells right below the bell, or the bow at the top. And then the third one I have to show you is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, a classic Christmas song, correct? This is book Sing a Song number 8. And you know I love the little houses and the trees. And so they're fun to do, they're fun to design. I haven't done any new ones this year. I kind of have gone in a different direction, but who knows, maybe I'll come back and do more in the future. So I have one more set of models to share with you, and I almost forgot because it's sitting down here. And every time I do a video, I seem to come up with a model that is very awkward to pick up, and this falls into that category. But the reason I wanted to show it to you, and first I'll tell you about it, you've heard about these before, is that I like to give you different finishing ideas. So this is my 12 Days of Christmas books, and there are 4 of them. Each booklet has 3 designs in it, obviously. They were stitched on a 32 count Belfast antique white. I seem to like that linen. And that was number 1. Here is book number 2. I've told you how much fun these were to design. And I finished these separately as just little round ornaments. But I want to show you, and I'll pick it up in just a second, an idea for you. So this is 12 Days of Christmas 3. Has the little dancing girl and the 8 maids of milking. I didn't want to do the little maids, so I did a little cow, and the 7 swans of swimming. And then the last one is book 4, and that has the 10 lords a leaping, the 11 pipers piping, and the drummers drumming. So as I say, they were fun to design. They had been on my design list for a long time. So I want to show you one of the ways that I have finished them. And as I say, it's going to be awkward. And I'm going to set it down here because it's kind of heavy. So let me lift it up so you can see the whole thing. So I bought this window at Hobby Lobby, and I've seen them there off and on. And it made such an easy finish because I used these little, what do you call them? They're like a little plastic disc that you can stick to a window, and I just hooked. Oops, I'm running into my microphone. Sorry about that. It might have made quite a noise. I just hung each one on this window, and then I added greenery and a bow at the top. There actually, on the back of this at the top, is a hanger so that I can hang it on the wall. But I love how that looks, and it's certainly a different finishing method for you. So each week when I do, or every couple weeks when I do a video, I like to talk about a shop of the week. And this one was kind of fun to come up with. And I came up with them. It's a new shop, a brand new shop. It's in Williamsburg, Virginia, and it just opened a few weeks ago. It's called Liberty Hill Needleworks. And I was so excited to hear that a shop had returned to Williamsburg, because I don't know if many of you had been there before. There used to be a beautiful needlework shop there, and it was owned by a mother and daughter. It was called and I just always looked forward to seeing them at market. they were so delightful. And of course, the mom, I can't remember, Paula is the daughter's name. Oh, I should remember her mom's name. She was so sweet. She was from Austria, and just a beautiful needleworker. I think that she, it was getting harder and harder for her to be running the shop with her daughter. So they had to move from their place where they were. So we have a new shop to talk about today. So it is, you can take a screenshot of this, 4854 Long Hill Road, Suite 8, Williamsburg. Here's their phone number. The owner is Susan, and I forgot to look up her email address, and I'm sorry. I'm sure if you Google it, you'll be able to find not only her email address, but a website. So I'm going to encourage you to support this new shop, and I will put all that information in my notes below. So I have giveaways for this week. I have some Christmas plans for the next couple days that, when I tell you about them, are a little frantic, but it's okay. We can do this. So first of all, let's talk about our giveaways. So I like to preface this with, you can choose, I always choose 3 winners with every video. So if you hear your name announced, contact me. And the best way to reach me is judy@jbwdesigns.com. Messengers and other things often I miss. And that reminds me, I used to get notifications, and I don't know if Facebook has changed things, what has happened, but I used to get notifications of every comment that I got with my videos, and that is no longer occurring. So I often, not only do I go back to see your comments because I want to reply to them, but it's kind of discouraging because we used to get notifications. So I'm going to ask you to be a subscriber, to choose one of the designs that I showed today as your prize. You can choose any one that you want, and then to send me your email address. That's the best way to reach me. And you have to be over 18. I'm sure most of my subscribers are. So my 3 winners today, the first one is Jane Foot, and it's Jane Foot IT 6268. My second winner is Mickey John SO, and there might have been more to her name on her comment, but it didn't pop up. And my third winner is Pam Morrow, Morrow. So please contact me, and I hope that you hear your name announced and that you win a prize. That's always fun. So you know that my email address, my Instagram account is judy.whitman. I should change that, but I don't know how to do it. It's frightening, isn't it? I do have a Friends of JBW Designs Facebook page, and you can just join that, and I often do a contest every few weeks. And then I do have a website. It is sadly out of date, and I'm hoping in the next few months, I have found someone new to work for me, that I will eventually be able to have that website updated and more current. But I do have a shop on the current website. So if you go to the website, there's kind of a list of options to look at. You can look at all the titles, etc. But in the shop, I do have some of my older designs for sale. So what are my plans? This is so exciting. So we're on baby watch because this little baby Nevaeh could come any day. Her stocking is finished, as I showed you. Tomorrow, our family is going down to Marion, Indiana, and our granddaughter Ashton is graduating with her master's in business from Indiana Wesleyan. And we're so proud of her. She is going to be staying there through this semester because she's one of the coaches on the softball team, which is a sport that she played for a long time. So that will be fun to celebrate her accomplishment. On Sunday, I always bake cookies with all of the grandchildren. And I've told you before, this is so cute. My oldest grandson, Wyatt, who maybe is coming if baby doesn't come, told me years ago, I said, oh, you don't have to come. You know, I understand you have other things to do. And he said, no, Nana, I want to come till I'm 35. So we have years to go with hopefully Wyatt and his wife, and next year the baby attending. So we do sugar cookies and we decorate them. My kitchen is an absolute mess when it's done, but it is a tradition, and the kids love it. The funny thing is, most of them wear aprons. Most of the aprons say JBW on it. Most of them are probably too small for them, but they're such good sports about it, and we do get a lot of laughs. So that's our Sunday project. And then to add to the confusion, we are celebrating our Christmas with our family a week early because of the baby coming. So next Tuesday, at the end of the day, because everybody has to work, we're going to have our Christmas together. Thankfully, we are going to, whoever can come is going to come back on Christmas Day. But things are changed this year, and that's okay. We have exciting things happening. I always like to end my videos with a quotation. And the first thing I want to do is to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I'm not sure when my next video will be, but I also want to acknowledge that Christmas for some people is very difficult. You don't have family nearby, you're alone, you've lost someone. You know, they're just circumstances that happen in everyone's life, and we never know what burdens other people are carrying. So I want to recognize that and tell you that I'm sending hugs to you and hope that you can get through this season if it is a hard one for you. So my quote of the day is, the most beautiful things in life are not things. They're people and places, memories and pictures. I'm going to cry. This is hard. They're feelings and moments and smiles and laughter. So thank you to all of you. You are just the best. And I will see you as soon as I can for the next video. Have a good time. Bye-bye.